When his phone rings in the house, do you answer his calls?
It depends.
On what?
If he's expecting a call and probably he's not around, then I may answer it. But it's not all the time his phone rings that I pick up the phone to answer the call.
Do you answer her calls?
Sometimes, yes, I do. Sometimes I do. If she's not immediately available, I look at who is calling her, and I take the call and I give her the message. Sometimes I go and give the phone to her.
In deciding what school the children goes to, how do you reach that conclusion?
Well, not only in the school the children go to, most things we do, we discuss and we arrive at a joint decision. We look at all the options. I will tell her, okay, you go and do your investigation. I go and do my investigation. We bring the facts together. We discuss it. Right now, we are undergoing a process like that. First, this is about to go to university. You know, we have looked at several options, and at this point in time, we are reviewing them and are going to take a decision together. No person decides and imposes on the other. I don't do it. She doesn't do it.
What has kept you together this last 20 years?
Well, I would say, of course, you know, love keeps marriages alive. But I also believe that if you're able to find areas of common interest, you know, it helps a lot. And also the way you resolve issues, you know, that come between you. Like she said, we've been married for over 20 years now. Nobody has ever come to settle any disagreement between us. If we have a disagreement, which naturally comes once in a while, the person who is at fault knows. If I'm at fault, I know she's at fault, she knows. That person makes overtures, makes the peace moves towards the other. And in a way, the other person, because you're also willing for peace, you kind of accept it and will just let it go. There are times we might have a disagreement and visitors coming to this house. You wouldn't know. We come out, we receive them, we chat and we talk. Meanwhile, there's an underlying report. But, you know,
and after the person goes,
you continue.
Continues.
Yes, and with time we resolve it on our own and we move on. So I would say such understanding, you know, has kept us together. And I also want to give a kind of recognition to the role the two families have played in the marriage.
Okay.
You know, the families have supported us by not interfering in our affairs. Nobody has ever come to want to impose anything on us. Nobody has, either from my side or from her side.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has ever come to say, oh, I was that this thing about your wife, or I was that this about your husband. I want to do this, I want to do that. Nobody has interfered. And that, I think, has also helped a lot to keep us together.
All right.
And then let me chip in something. You asked what has kept us together after 20 years. I really say we've been together for like 26 years because we courted for 6 years before we got married. And I would say communication. You know, I'm very open. There's nothing he keeps away from me. So even if you see me now and you tell me my husband did this or that, or I saw your husband in such a place, if it's something I know he can do, I will tell you that, oh, it's true. But if you just told me for maybe wanting to know my reaction, I'll just thank you and then I'll move on. Because I know everything about him and he knows everything about me. If he says, I'm traveling to Edo State, for instance, and you come and tell me you saw my husband in Abuja, I won't even listen to you because I know my husband cannot tell me he's going to Edo State and he will be in another place. And then secondly, it's true, surprises are nice, but there is hardly anything, especially any major thing that he has done or he has undertaken without carrying me along. I think that is just it. Communication. He tells me everything and he seeks my opinion before. Though sometimes we'll say, okay, I'm vetoing it. Then I know, at least I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yes. He doesn't just spring up surprises on me like that. And, you know.
In bringing up the children, what moral values do you impact on them?
Well, one of the major things we try to do is to bring them up in the way of the Lord, because we believe that with good moral instruction and good Christian values, they will be guided. You know, they'll be able to know what is right and what is wrong on their own and be able to choose right. We bring them up with love. For instance, I make them to love me so much that they will not want to offend me and do something that will make me unhappy. So when I say don't do this, I don't force it. Because they don't want to make me unhappy, they wouldn't do it. I remember my own upbringing. I have very strict and disciplined upbringing. In fact, when I heard my father coming to the house, I would run away. But what I've tried to do is that when my children hear me coming to the house, they run towards me and embrace me. So it's direct opposite, because I know the impact that had in my life. And I don't want my children to be brought up by running away from me. So I build them in a way that they come towards me instead of going away from me.
How did you get them to love you so much that they do not want to offend you? How? How did you do that?
Well, it's just by bringing them close, talking to them, little things, playing little gifts, just things like, it's something that evolves naturally. Yeah. It's not a structured or a set of rules to achieve it. These are kids coming to the world. You start to build a relationship with them as children, and that relationship continues. Even my son, who is over 20, we still have that very close relationship today,
What's your relationship with the children?
In addition to what my husband said, we bond very well with the children. Let me use that word. And as such, whatever they hear from outside, they come to us to confirm from us. That is maybe things that we never discussed with them before. Or if something happens at school, once they get into the car, Mommy, do you know what happened? So person did this, or this teacher said this, or, by so doing, I kind of know their friends. We know the kind of friends they have. The good ones, we encourage them to maintain the relationship. And those that we feel will have a negative influence on them, we try as much as possible to discourage them from associating with such people. And then one good thing about them is that maybe because we make them our friends, they listen to us a lot.
Okay. If you enjoyed our content or content like ours, then subscribe, like, follow, share, leave us a comment.